Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Orson Welles in the prequel to the motion picture The Third Man, The Lives of Harry Lime. Why is it a prequel? Because Harry Lime was killed in The Third Man. These episodes aired afterwards, thus a prequel. The Lives of Harry Lime, September 21st, 1951. This episode entitled Rogue's Holiday.
Presenting Orson Welles as The Third Man. The Lives of Harry Lime. The fabulous stories of the immortal character, originally created in the motion picture The Third Man, with zither music by Anton Karas.
That was the shot that killed Harry Lime. He died in a sewer beneath Vienna. As those of you know who saw the movie The Third Man. Yes, that was the end of Harry Lime. But it was not the beginning. No. He had many lives. And I can tell you about all of them. How? Because my name is Harry Lime. Did I ever tell you about the time when I outwitted 3 very suspicious Wall Street investors at a net profit to yours truly of 55,000 American dollars? No? Well, I will sometime. Anyway, because of that little caper, I decided that an ocean trip would be good for my nerves and for the nerves of some half-dozen New York detectives. That's how I happened to go on a holiday. A rogue's holiday, if you will. Very pleasant. A day or so out of New York, aboard the Queen Anne, bound for Southampton. I was on the passenger list as J. Harrington Lime. I ate, of course, at the captain's table, remembering how I'd put the investments of those 3 Wall Street brokers in my own personal piggy bank. Whenever I was asked,
"And what business are you in, Mr. Lime?"
I would smile to myself and answer, "I'm an investment broker, Lady Barbara. It is the Lady Barbara Follet, isn't it?"
"Yes, of course."
I thought we'd met. Aren't you also sitting at the captain's table?
"Yes, that's right."
And I seem to remember that there's an empty chair at the table next to yours. You're not traveling alone.
It's of no importance. You are on a holiday, Mr. Lime?
A holiday? Well, after a manner of speaking, yes.
I don't understand.
I'm so interested in my work, Lady Barbara, that I'm seldom able to keep from mixing pleasure and business.
Oh, you seem so young to be engaged in so complex a business. Investment banker. I always thought all bankers were portly men in their 50s.
Well, every banker must be able to inspire confidence in his clients, Lady Barbara. The incompetent banker relies on his appearance and his maturity.
And you?
I rely on my record of success, ma'am. No hurry. No hurry at all, not while I was on my holiday. Pleasant boat, the Queen Anne, scheduled to take 6 days to Southampton she was. I had plenty of time. But the question of Lady Barbara Follet's bank account and the question of the empty chair next to it, the captain's table, preyed a bit on my mind, so I looked up the passenger list. There she was, all right. Lady Barbara Follet, stateroom A deck, stateroom for 2, right now. But all it said was, and companion. And companion, what did that mean? Not a husband, surely. Looked up the steward for a stateroom.
Yes, sir.
Steward, you're in charge of the staterooms along this corridor, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, now number 6. I believe that's Lady Barbara Follet's stateroom, isn't it?
I believe
yes,
so.
Now, I was wondering, just idle curiosity, you know, on the passenger list, she's down as traveling with a companion. But it doesn't say who the companion might be.
You don't, sir?
Steward.
Yes, sir.
Here, take this for your trouble.
Thank you,
now
sir.
then, would you tell me who her companion is?
No, sir. Not me, sir. Will that be all?
Yeah, just a minute now.
Yes,
After
sir.
all, old man, I slip you a $10 bill just for a bit of information.
The lady in question, sir, slipped me a double sawbuck not to give out that information, sir.
A double sawbuck?
$20, sir.
Ah, yes. Well, then I'll just take this for your trouble.
Thank you,
now,
sir.
then, about Lady Barbara's companion.
You were planning a little hanky-panky, no doubt, sir.
Hanky-panky?
Worried, were you, sir, lest the companion might be the husband of the lady in question?
Yes, something like that, yes.
Looking for a little shipboard romance, no doubt, sir.
That's it. Now, who's the companion?
You've got clear sailing, sir. The companion's not her husband. Matter of fact, sir.
Yeah?
Take my advice and wait till the companion's got her sea legs, sir. A lot cuter, the companion, than Lady Barbara, sir.
Well, thank you, Stuart.
Not at all, sir.
So, in the next day or so, I found opportunities for squiring Lady Barbara around the boat. Cocktails in the evening, a drink or two after dinner, even a game or two of deck tennis in the afternoon. Something she'd said made me prick up my ears and redouble my attentions to her as a prospective, shall I say, client. We were having brandy in the lounge after dinner.
The other day, Mr. Lyme.
Yes?
You were saying that what you relied on to inspire your clients with confidence
Was my continuing success. Yes, that's right.
I must say, you inspire me with confidence.
Well, that's half the battle for an investment banker like me. Have you some problem with your own investments?
To be frank, yes, I have, Mr. Lyme. We must talk of it further tomorrow.
Why not now?
Thank you, I should like to, but the truth is, I must spend...
Your companion. The reason for the empty chair next to you at the table.
Yes,
She hasn't her sea legs yet,
How did you know it was she, not he? Well, it's no matter. You'll probably be meeting her tomorrow. If she takes a liking to you, Mr. Lyme, as I have, then perhaps we can do some business. That is, if you want to.
Any way I can be of service, Lady Barbara. Next morning, I ran into their steward, and he told me that both ladies were out promenading. With some caution, I went looking for them. True, I was on holiday, but still, if I could turn my hand to a piece of business. Besides, I was curious about this mysterious companion whose name was not even carried on the passenger list. Turning a corner on the promenade deck, I nearly bumped into them. Quickly, I ducked back behind a bulkhead as they passed.
Pourrais-je faire? C'était drôle, hein? Tu es rigolo, ma princesse.
Ma princesse. So, her companion was a princess. For the rest, I'd seen that she wore a veil close over her hair and face, but no veil could conceal that beauty. And I'd seen something else that interested me, too. A string of pearls, matched pearls. I maneuvered into position for the next round on the promenade. Lady Barbara.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Lyme. Anne, this is the nice man I've told you about who's been so kind to me. Mr. Lyme, this is Miss Jones.
How do you do, Mr. Lyme? I am pleased to meet you.
Miss Jones? Such an ordinary name for such an extraordinary young lady.
He makes nice speeches, Barbara, just as you said he did.
Perhaps you'll permit me to join you?
Oh, I am so sorry. We were just going in, Mr. Lyme, weren't we, Barbara?
Well, then at least, Miss Jones, maybe you will join me and Lady Barbara this evening before dinner.
Mr. Lyme insists on the practice of buying me a cocktail before dinner, Anne.
Why, I should like that. Only, as to cocktails, the ship's doctor told me that perhaps until I am stronger, I should drink champagne.
Perfect. I'll make sure there's a bottle of ice for you, Miss Jones. Miss Jones, I was sure that while that name Jones was a phony, the pearls weren't. This was promising to become one of the more profitable holidays I'd spent. That evening, I was in the lounge early, a bucket of iced champagne by my side.
Mr. Lyme, as you promised, my wine.
It's vintage, Miss Jones. I think it should be adequate. No, Lady Barbara?
Oh, she was a little indisposed. She sends her regards.
Please sit down. Stuart, I confess, Miss Jones, I'm not too sorry Lady Barbara's not joining us tonight.
So?
I was looking forward so to meeting you. You'd become a lady of mystery. And having met you this morning on the promenade deck, I spent the day looking forward to chatting with you this evening.
Oh, more pretty speeches.
All right, sir?
Yes, fine. Now, fine, thank you. If the wine meets with Miss Jones' approval.
Miss Jones knows little of wines, Mr. Lyme. She is content to leave such matters to you. You have won Lady Barbara's confidence, and that means that you have won mine, too.
Then a toast to your improved health, Miss Jones.
Now, why do you always pause, as if you do not remember my name?
Oh, my apologies. Very rude of me. I'm awfully sorry.
I accept your... Oh!
What is it?
Oh, my string of necklace. It broke. Oh, my pearls.
Oh, here, look out. Just hold still. You know how many of them there were? Now, don't move.
Yes, there were 64.
Just so we can make sure none of them have rolled under the... Here. Yeah, here's another.
Oh, such a stupid thing. No, I really must apologize.
Please, here. Here's another. Steward.
No, it is all right. I think that's all of them. Let me see. Quickly, that's 5, 10, 15.
Yes, sir.
Just hang on a second, will you? The lady's string of pearls broke. Maybe that one or two are still missing
Just time, I have never done such a betise, such a foolish thing. 55 and 5 is 60, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, that is the whole lot of them. Thank you, Stuart.
Lucky thing, ma'am.
Oh, Mr. Lime, do me a great favor.
Anything at all. I say, you're sure they're all here?
Oh, yes, sure. Take them, will you? You have an envelope, perhaps, or a safe pocket? Take them for me to the little jewelry shop. You know, the one right on the step.
Oh, sure, I know the shop, but...
Maybe it's still open. You can have the man restring them properly on a strong new string. Or would you do that?
Well, I'm not sure I like the idea, really, of wandering around the ship with a handful of loose pearls. These look like the real thing.
Oh, no, they will be perfectly safe. Now, won't you? For me, such a little favor. If the shop should still be open, please?
Leave you?
Oh, I shall sit here quite quietly, just thinking how lucky I am that you were with me when the string broke, until you return. All right?
All right. I'll be back as soon as I can.
September 21st, 1951, The Lives of Harry Lime on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
You know, it's true. Difficult times have a way of focusing us. We have to think about what matters most when it comes to our spending, our health care. No doubt. This is why so many people are joining MediShare right now. MediShare is a trusted way to save up to 50% on your monthly health care costs. More than 400,000 people have already made the switch. It's pretty obvious why, too, especially now during this challenging season with healthcare costs and out-of-pocket expenses going up. MediShare can save you a lot of money. The typical family saves $500 a month. And MediShare is a Christian healthcare sharing ministry that's worked beautifully for 29 years. There are different options to choose from to fit your budget. I'll give you the number here in a second, and if you call, you can get a price within 2 minutes. Maybe now is the perfect time to make the switch and start saving. Here you go. Call 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE. 833-34-BIBLE.
Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Like most of Harry Alan Towers' productions, only the star was given any acting credit in the shows. None of the supporting players were mentioned at all in any of the material. So all we know is that Orson Welles starred in The Lives of Harry Lime, the prequel to the Third Man motion picture. This episode from September 21st, 1951.
And now, Orson Welles as the Third Man continues with Rogue's Holiday.
So there I was, by myself, free as the wind, with 64 pearls in my pocket. Even one of them, one of the bigger ones, be worth, well, 5,000 pounds, something like that. Nice sum. In my stateroom, I had some loose pearls, paste. I could have made the switch easily enough, had plenty of time. And a stupid thief might have done just that. But not Harry Lime. Oh, no. I'd play it smart. I'd wait till later. Went straight to the ship's jeweler.
Spring broker?
If you could do a quick but good repair job, old man, I'd be most grateful.
Oh, it's easy enough. Just take a moment. Just roll them out here. Good ones, aren't they?
Well, they look it, don't they?
Yes. To an expert's eye, they're very handsome indeed.
How much would you estimate that string to be worth, old man?
If you were to just walk into this shop and ask to buy them, do you mean?
Yeah.
Or if you wanted me to find you another 64 like them?
No, just walk in and buy them. 50,000 pounds?
Oh, I'd say this string closer to 150,000, sir.
Well, I was a pretty rich man there for a few minutes.
There you are, sir.
Yes.
That string shouldn't break very quickly.
Thank you very much. What do I owe you?
Oh, forget it, sir. It's a privilege to be handling those pearls, even if only for a moment.
It would have been foolish for me to tamper with his fortune while we were still aboard ship. 2 days we'd been in Southampton, at which there'd be still plenty of time. The important thing was to get this lovely girl's confidence, which I most certainly did. And the second thing was to pry under her incognito. Who was she? Which princess of the blood was anxious to conceal her identity under the plebeian name of Jones, and why? Not until the last night, when the ship was gliding into the soft darkness past Plymouth, when the two of us stood under a sickle moon on the boat deck, did I find out. If she looked lovely in that moonlight, her pearls looked even lovelier.
Oh, what a wonderfully soft, warm night.
I hadn't noticed.
You had not? Oh, the band has begun playing again.
It has?
Can't you hear it? What's the matter with you?
Well, I need all my 5 senses for something more important than looking at nights or listening to dance bands.
Oh, no, Mr. Lime.
Harry.
Oh, now, Harry, you must know.
If the night is warm, it's because it must be to afford you a warm mantle. If the band is playing, it's only to provide a setting for your voice. Miss Jones.
My name is...
Yes?
Anne.
Don't move.
Please.
What price? The warmth of the night or the music of the band?
Oh, you kiss very expertly, Mr.
Harry.
Or should I say you seem very practiced.
If a cat may look at a king,
Yes?
then perhaps it's all right if I kiss a princess.
You recognize me.
Well, I knew you were a princess, not your name, if that matters.
You are uncanny, Mr.
Harry.
Harry, since you have gotten this far and since you have shown yourself trustworthy, I can see no reason for not telling you anymore. I am Anne de Bourbon, Princess of Helvigstein.
At your service, ma'am.
You have heard of our principality? It is in eastern Germany, beyond the Iron Curtain. I should say it was, it is no more. It's all gone except...
Except what?
I'm not sure. I will not know until I meet my husband in London. If I meet my husband.
If? Well, there's some doubt.
I have said too much already, Mr. Lime. It is too bad. It has been a pleasant evening. I was almost able to forget for a moment. Good night.
She was gone, just like that. At least I knew now who she was. Whether I'd be able to find her again in London, whether I'd frightened her away, and with her my chance at that string of pearls by letting her know that I knew she was a princess, all these things I was a little nervous about. Till next day, just as I was getting ready to disembark in Southampton, Lady Barbara came up to me rather quickly.
Mr. Lime, here, a note.
A note from...
read it, please.
After last night, I've been worried for fear I might just possibly have said something which, might have offended your friend, Miss Jones.
Offended her? Oh, read the note.
The notepaper bore a crest, a coronet. It was one sheet of heavy paper folded once. There was no salutation. The note said, "As you said, a cat may look at a king. It might be interesting and fun to experiment once more with your other statement, the one about a princess." There was no signature, but none was necessary.
Do you feel better?
Yes, but...
She asked me to tell you that we would be stopping at the Carlton. We'll hope to see you then.
So she had arranged that we should meet again after all. But when we met again, away from the dangerous confines of an ocean liner, I proposed to relieve her lovely neck of those lovely pearls. Oh, sure, I was on a holiday and sentiment was involved, but these were factors that had to be disregarded. My scheme was foolproof. As it turned out, the scheme wasn't needed the first time I saw her in the sitting room of her Carlton suite.
Mr. Lime.
Oh.
All right, Harry. Harry, you have already done me one favor. I hate to ask you,
I've told you I'm at your service, Miss Jones.
No, call me Anne, please.
If you want me, Highness, I shall be at...
No, don't leave, Barbara. Stay with us. You know the favor I have to ask of Harry anyway.
I started to say anything short of murder, Anne.
No, it's nothing like that. First, listen. On shipboard, you remember, I told you I was to meet my husband.
If, you said.
Yes, if. This is the if. Years ago, Harry, when the Red Army was driving through East Germany, we had to flee. My husband hid what was valuable that we had. Jewels, some gold plate, a pitiful collection, really, but all we had. He hid it himself. He alone knew where it was. He trusted in those days no one. Then, a few weeks ago, we planned to get it back. It would cost us a lot, we knew. Bribes, the purchase of a plane, fee for the pilot, more bribes and always more bribes. Klaus had to fly into Helvigstein, don't you see, himself. A mad and dangerous idea.
I think so.
But he refused to tell anyone else where his cachet was. He could not trust anyone. I went to America to raise some funds that was needed. Lady Barbara has been good enough to lend us more. But just today, I have learned that even more is needed.
More money?
Mr. Lime, say no quickly if you cannot do me this favor. But I have exhausted all my other resources. If you knew how much it costs to bribe these officials over here.
No, I'll bet. How much do you need?
Oh, you will do it? It's just a loan, mind you.
It's a pleasure.
Lady Barbara's investment will bring her all we need at the first of the next quarter, and then I can repay you
Please, how much do you need?
10,000 American dollars. It is too much?
No, I don't think so. No, certainly not.
And see, for security, security, on your loan, here, you will take this, my pearls. You have already once guarded them well.
Oh, please, I wouldn't dream of...
Yes, I insist. Otherwise, I will not even ask you for the loan of the 10,000 American dollars.
Oh, well, if you insist.
Here, take them. Now, how can we arrange to get the money?
Well, I have more than that here in the hotel safe in American dollars, too. Just let me ring the desk. A trip downstairs in the lift, elevator to you, back up again to my room and over to hers. I handed her 10 bills. She handed me the pearls. We smiled, shook hands on the deal, and I walked out of her room with a fortune in my pocket. Called for a celebration. Pal of mine runs a pub saloon to you in London. I use it as a sort of message center. I have letters sent me there. My pal knows all the gossip who's in town, who swindled whom, all the news. I need my business, so I went straight to him.
And while Harry sidles up to the bar, we have time for a break. The Lives of Harry Lime, starring Orson Welles, September 21st, 1951. The conclusion, along with the conclusion to yours truly, Johnny Dollar Story, is next on Classic Radio Theater.
Has someone in your family lost a job recently, and now you can't afford your mortgage payment? Or do you have a rental property and your tenants aren't paying you? We can come to the rescue and pay you cash for your home immediately. Yes, sell your home and get cash all over the phone without dealing with real estate agents or having to waste time showing your home to lukewarm buyers. You don't need to lose your house to foreclosure. If you have equity in your home, we'll buy your home and give you cash within days, all in a simple over-the-phone and virtual process. Call now before your situation gets worse. Sell a home you can't afford or just need anymore and get the cash you need today. Call this number now.
800-477-4612. 800-477-4612. 800-477-4612. That's 800-477-4612. Paid for by Want to Sell.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of The Lives of Harry Lime, starring Orson Welles, September 21st, 1951.
Harry, I haven't seen you for months.
Afternoon, Barney. Give me a whiskey and soda, double whiskey and soda. None of your bar whiskey either. Something good, one for yourself. I'm celebrating.
So am I, man, so am I. I'm celebrating your return.
Well, good.
How long you been in England?
Just a little while.
Too hot for you in the States, was it?
Look, can we have a drink somewhere in private?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Follow me. Got onto something good, have you?
I'll be leaving London pretty quick, Barney. I have to go to Europe, France, I guess maybe Italy.
Well, you've only just got here.
I pulled a quick one. They may be looking for me in London sooner than I like to think.
Uh-huh. What for? Unless it's something you think I should know about.
Look, Barney.
Well, now, aren't they beauties? Real thing, aren't they?
I had them priced by a jeweler who said he'd ask £150,000 for them.
Oh, that should keep you in cigarettes for a week or two. Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Not half bad. Not, in fact, a quarter bad. Let me have a look. Do you mind?
Look 'em over all you want, Barney. I'll fence 'em in Paris somewhere. This is your last look, old man.
Uh-huh. Where did you say you got 'em?
Off a German princess. She gave 'em to me as a security on a loan.
Mm-hmm. German princess, is it?
Yes, French-born, I think.
French-born, you think?
Yes.
Name of what?
Anne de Bourbon, Princess of Elvigstein. Yes, very good. What's so funny? What's so very funny?
Anne de Bourbon. Princess de Elvigstein.
All right, old man, all right. Better let me in on the joke.
I thought these pearls looked funny, although you said they weren't gem.
You're crazy, well, Barney, I had them priced myself.
Maybe you had some pearls priced, but not these, my boy. You've been had. The oldest trick in the world. Pulled on you, Harry Lime.
Now, you're lying. Now, don't try to pull your tricks on me, Barney. A joke's a joke, but...
Oh, I don't have to. It's been pulled already. Harry, me bucko, I know who Andy Bourbon is. I know who the Princess von Elwigstein is, too. She's a slick little article.
Oh, no.
But she ain't German. She's not French-born, and I don't think you'll ever find any Elwigstein on no map. She's Doris Jones.
Oh.
That's who she is. And she was born right here in Clapham. That's where she was born. And she took you and shook you for, how much?
I gave her 10,000 American dollars. I don't believe you.
I'll die. The oldest gang in the world and pulled on none other than Harry Lime himself. I'll die.
Room 316, please.
Harry, when this news gets around, boy.
That's right, I'm calling Miss Jones. No, never mind. Oh.
Well, do I win me bet? And did you lose your 10,000 American dollars?
Yes. All I've got are these pearls.
Oh, better than nothing, Harry. It's a good imitation. Must be worth £50.
£50? Well, I'm on my holiday. I come out ahead after all.
What? But what about your 10,000 American dollars?
Wait till your slick little article from Clapham tries to pass that 10,000 bounty. They're counterfeit. That'll teach Miss Jones to try anything fast with Harry Lime. Well, it seems that Miss Jones found herself a legitimate prince, one of those exiles in Portugal, and settled down with him in Lisbon. I ran into her at Estoril a couple of seasons later. She was a real princess now, but it seems His Highness isn't as young as he was and probably never was, so the princess is very democratic. She asked me to their place for dinner, said she thought I'd be interested in some of the interior decorations. I was. She complimented me on my nice set of pearl studs, which she recognized, and showed me into the cloakroom, which was entirely wallpapered in American $10 bills, or a reasonable facsimile. I recognized them. No hard feelings, you understand. It's a pleasant little caper, and I always enjoy moving about amongst the upper classes. It's so educational. Well, goodbye for now. Don't take any lead nickels. And remember, if you can't manage to resist temptation, be sure you get it appraised.
Definitely get it appraised. The Lives of Harry Lime, Orson Welles, September 21st, 1951, on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Attention Walmart shoppers. Now you can order one of the most advanced hearing aids on the market for hundreds, not thousands of dollars. Hearing Assist's most advanced product lineup includes models that use an exclusive app for enhanced control over what you want to hear. It's perfect if you have a smartphone or iPhone to hear everything better. And we have two great ways for you to get one. You can call the number at the end of this ad and order directly. Or you can call this same number and we will text you a complete list of Walmart Vision Center locations. We make it easy for you to hear better. Remember, call this number today to order and have a text message instantly sent to your phone to find the Walmart Vision Center near you. Here's that special number.
Call 800-360-0597. 800-360-0597. 800-360-0597. That's 800-360-0597.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, The Wind-Up, Part 5 of the 5-part Yours Truly Johnny Dollar story, The Imperfect Alibi Matter. This episode originally broadcast September 21st, 1956.
From Hollywood, it's time now for...
Johnny Dollar.
Joe Rastelli at Homicide, Johnny.
Glad you called, Joe. Got something new for you on the Harvey Stone murder case.
Well, let's have it.
Yesterday, Harvey's secretary, Martha Winters, told us she'd seen Helen Barrett approaching his apartment at just about the time he was murdered.
Yeah?
She just admitted to me that she lied.
Oh?
She wasn't in position to have seen anyone approaching the apartment at the time.
Well, that maybe opens things up a little again.
Yeah.
I've got an item along that line, too, Johnny.
What is it?
Harvey's young stepmother, Daphne, up in Westchester County.
Oh, what about her?
I just found out she was here in the city the night of Harvey's murder.
What?
Yeah.
Tonight and every weekday night, Bob Bailey in the transcribed adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Home Office, Northeast Indemnity Associates, Hartford, Connecticut. Assignment, the Imperfect Alibi Matter, location New York City. Expense account concluded. Item 13320, transportation to the Stone estate in Westchester County to question Harvey's young stepmother, Daphne Stone. As a suspect in Harvey's killing, Daphne was very much alive again.
Sit down, Johnny.
Thanks. Nice out here.
Mm-hmm. Drink?
No, thanks.
How's the investigation going?
Well, that's what I came to talk about, Daphne. It hasn't been going too well.
Oh? I was under the impression that an arrest had been made.
Helen Barrett's being held.
Well, then.
Helen Barrett could be the killer. A lot of things point in her direction. But there are a few that don't.
What do you mean?
Right from the start, you've been giving me incomplete answers or false answers. First, you told me it was Harvey's father, E.J., who opposed his plans to marry Helen. Then I found out you were the one who was fighting it.
Look, I explained all that. It was because I didn't want you to get the wrong idea.
Oh, yeah, so you said. You told me you opposed it because you didn't think the Stone name should go to a supper club singer like Helen.
Yes.
But you yourself used to be a chorus girl.
I explained that to you, too, Johnny.
Okay. So you oppose the marriage for the dignity of the family and not just to keep Harvey at home with you.
That's a vicious thing to say. I told you Harvey and I, being about the same age, were very good friends, true friends.
Is that what your husband thought?
You forget Harvey's father is confined to a wheelchair. Understandably, he might occasionally resent those who can be more active.
That's another thing you didn't tell me, Daphne, that E.J. could get out of his wheelchair on occasion. I caught a glimpse of him out of it the last time I was here.
Short periods only, and with considerable discomfort.
So you and Harvey were friends? Like you and that gambler, Dutch Krieger, huh?
Danny, my patience is running out. I explained that Dutch was in the past. Completely in the past. Before my marriage.
But Dutch got kicked out of a business deal by Harvey. And he wouldn't like a thing like that.
Harvey acted perfectly properly. Really, Johnny.
All right, just one more thing,
Well,
Daphne.
what is it?
One thing more you didn't tell me. That you were in the city the night Harvey was murdered there. Well?
I should have told you that, Johnny. I went into the city that evening because I knew Harvey was to have a meeting with Helen later that night. I wanted to talk to Harvey first.
What about?
I knew he was planning some definite action about her.
So you wanted to talk him out of marrying her?
If you want to put it like that, yes.
What time was that?
I saw him in his apartment about 9. I left before 10.
Can anybody verify those times?
I don't know.
I see. What was the outcome of your talk with Harvey?
He assured me he'd break off with Helen.
You sure about that?
Completely sure. I decided to stay at a hotel that night instead of coming back home. I suppose that's how the police knew I was in the city.
It's Helen's story that when she saw Harvey later, they decided to elope.
If I believed that. But I don't. I think she's lying.
And how about you, Daphne? Have you given me the whole truth now?
Yes, Johnny. The whole truth. Everything I've done has been done solely to protect the family name. Everything.
Right then, I'd have given a lot to know just what that everything involved. Whether or not it also included some weird idea of killing Harvey to somehow protect the family name. Expense account item 14320, transportation back to the city. I got permission from Joe Rastelli to talk to Helen Barron. When they brought her into the interrogation room, she looked pale and tired.
Hello, Johnny.
Helen, several things I want to ask you about. Sit down.
Sure. What?
Martha Winters, for one.
Harvey's secretary? What about her?
Well, she made a statement that she'd seen you heading for Harvey's apartment around 11:30. That had put you inside there during the time of the murder.
No, I'm sure it was later than that. Almost 12 when I got back there.
Martha later admitted that she lied. But the question is, why? Still carrying the torch for Harvey?
Yes, I guess she was.
Next item's about Alvin Gentry.
Lieutenant Rastelli told me about that confession Alvin made.
He got all the details wrong. Caliber of the gun.
Poor Alvin.
What do you mean?
Well, he'd always made it clear how he felt about me. But I didn't think he'd go that far.
Well, how do you feel about him?
I've always liked him very much. Used to go with him some. But I stopped when I started seeing Harvey.
Did you talk to Alvin long at your apartment that night?
No, just a few minutes while I was packing.
You know, you just talked yourself out of an alibi.
What do you mean?
Well, after Gentry's confession didn't sell, he was willing to swear you were with him during the entire period the murder could have taken place.
Johnny, why does an innocent person need an alibi?
It helps in court. Believe me.
Well, how'd you make out with Daphne and Helen, Johnny?
Joe, remind me never to get involved with show people again. They make their living putting on an act, and I'm just country boy enough not to be able to tell the difference once in a while.
They both gave you nice, straight stories, huh?
Oh, yeah, sure. Real sincere. Look me right in the eye, both of them.
But one of them was lying, huh?
Daphne said Harvey told her he'd break off with Helen, but Helen says the two of them were planning to elope.
Of course, Harvey might have changed his mind after talking to Daphne.
Yeah, but that's something we're not going to be able to confirm now.
No. Johnny, it's a cinch Alvin Gentry's convinced that Helen's guilty. I think he's holding back something. Guy doesn't stick his neck out that far without a reason.
I know, but I still don't dig her motive.
Well, suppose Daphne's telling the truth that Harvey broke up with Helen. Maybe she couldn't stand getting the brush off.
Yeah, could be, all right.
People can do some strange things under the name of love, Johnny, particularly when it turns to hate. And that can happen awful fast.
Expenses, items 15 and 16, $1.40 cab to my hotel, and $1 even for a pot of coffee in my room. 1 hour, 3 cups of coffee, and half a dozen cigarettes later, I was still nowhere. I was beat. And then a weird little idea began pecking away at me. A couple of things Rastelli had said suddenly started adding up to a pretty fantastic answer. Maybe it wouldn't stand the light of day, but it was night now, and it was the only idea I could come up with. I decided to try it on for size. I went to the club Alvin Gentry managed.
Oh, hello, Dollar. I was sort of hoping you'd be around again.
Oh?
Yeah, I want to talk to you, but not now. It's almost closing time. Stick around, will you?
I waited at the bar while the customers left. 20 minutes later, Gentry and I were alone. He slid onto a stool beside me.
Drink?
No thanks. What's on your mind, Gentry?
Well, I've been thinking about what you said the last time we talked about perjury.
Oh?
I decided you were right, Dollar. They make it pretty tough on you for perjury.
Yeah, they do.
I'm withdrawing my statement that Helen was with me at the time of the murder.
Well, that's probably the smart thing to do, Gentry.
Sure, what's the use? I'm getting tired of being a sucker in this deal, a fall guy.
Oh?
That goofed-up confession I made was bad enough. And I had to stick my neck out still further with that fake alibi for her. And for what?
So you're withdrawing the statement, huh?
Yeah. That's probably what you came to see me about, huh?
No, that isn't why I came to see it all, Gentry.
Hmm?
And I wouldn't exactly call you a sucker. I think you're one of the smartest guys I've ever seen, in a sort of weird and twisted kind of way.
What are you talking about?
You played this whole deal real cagey right from the start. Everything you did was supposed to look like a cover for Helen. But instead of that, you were really trying to put a noose around her neck.
You're out of your mind, Dollar.
And that confession you made, Gentry, that's why I came to see you. To tell you it wasn't goofed up at all. You did kill Harvey Stone.
You know, you got a real weird sense of humor.
Have I? A couple of things Lieutenant Rastelli said added up in my mind a few minutes ago. Love can turn to hate fast. And you'd have to have a good reason to do what you did. You wanted Helen bad. When she told you that night she was going to marry Harvey Stone, you couldn't stand the idea. If you couldn't have her, nobody could.
You're talking crazy.
You went to Harvey's apartment and killed him. Then you made that fake confession to look like you were shielding her. Actually, you were framing her.
No.
You knew we wouldn't believe you, and we wouldn't believe that alibi you offered for her. It all made her look more guilty by the moment.
Dollar, you're forcing me to say something I didn't want to.
Oh, what is it?
Helen was mad at Harvey that night. I was worried. I followed her back to his apartment. When I got there, she was standing over the body with a gun in her hand. She said, "Why did I do it?" She kept saying it over and over. That's why I made the fake confession to protect her.
Sorry, Gentry. It's a little too late for that story now. I keep telling you that confession you made was legitimate.
Are you crazy? I didn't even get the caliber of the gun right.
Yes, you did.
What are you talking about?
We made a mistake. Harvey was killed with a .45 Colt, just like you said.
You're crazy. It was a .38 Smith.
Yeah, a .38 Smith & Wesson. I know that. So do the police. So does the killer. But nobody else.
It was in the papers.
No, Gentry. It wasn't in the papers.
You're dead wrong, Dollar. Dead wrong.
He kicked a bar stool at me, and I dove behind the end of the bar. The lights went off. I had my gun out now, but I couldn't see anything in the dark. He couldn't get past me to the front door, but he could get out of the back. I had to locate him fast. Then my hand touched an ashtray at the end of the bar. I picked it up and tossed it toward the center of the room. I spotted the flash of his gun. Now I had him pegged. I found a lamp on one of the tables. Gentry was slumped in a corner.
My shoulder. Help me.
Don't worry, Gentry. You're not going to conk out. There's plenty left of you to stand trial. Final item on expense account, $12.80. Transportation and incidentals back home. Total expenses, $192.40. Rastelli arrived in response to my call and had Gentry carted away. Helen Barrett was released from custody. Remarks? Here I thought Dutch Krieger was the gambler in the case, but the little game of winner-take-all that Gentry'd been playing was just about the weirdest I'd ever heard of. I thought about him up there in the death house at Sing Sing and realized that the big trouble with that kind of gamble that he was taking is that the loser's seat can get awfully hot. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Now, here's our star to tell you about next week's story.
Next week, one of the biggest, toughest, loudest characters I've ever met. A real two-fisted terror. And her name is Meg McCarthy. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, is transcribed in Hollywood. Written by Robert Reif, it is produced and directed by Jack Johnstone. Heard in our cast were Virginia Gregg, Tony Barrett, Shirley Mitchell, Will Wright, Chet Stratton, Ted DeCorsia, Barney Phillips, Lillian Baeff, and Harry Bartell. Musical supervision by Amerigo Marino. Be sure to join us on Monday night, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Roy Rowan speaking.
Oh, if it's the Meg's Palace matter coming up, I think you'll be delighted. This episode, September 21st, 1956, yours truly, Johnny Dollar, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thanks to Ted at RadioMemories.com for supplying us this week's episodes of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. You can find out more at RadioMemories.com. Ted supplies shows not only on flash drive for your computer, but also on CD and cassette. That's at RadioMemories.com. And do me a favor, visit my webpage, classicradio.stream. You can stream our shows on demand there. You can also learn more about classic radio collecting. You can also find links to sites where you can download our daily shows. You can also contact me, find our social media links, and you can buy me a coffee. Buy Me a Coffee link is what helps us to acquire additional classic radio shows. We've acquired a number of shows, including Jack Armstrong, The All-American Boy, and Mr. and Mrs. North. So we have all those coming up on classicradio.stream and here on this station. Speaking of which, thank this station, support their advertisers, tell your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Fat Clack, thank you for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.